What's going on, everybody? It's your boy NBDY, and I'm hanging out with Rob on Front Row Live.
This building is just so iconic. What does it mean to you, like, to come and perform at a venue like this?
It's like, it's crazy, man. Like, to be honest, my first time out here in LA.
Yeah.
I haven't, like, I've always came to LA to do music and everything. Like, my EP I recorded out here. But I've never actually had a show out here, so I'm really excited because now like all my friends and everything out here can finally see me perform and stuff. So yeah.
Well, it's kind of cool because it's like your family kind of has that musical background,
Yeah.
And then now you kind of follow those footsteps as well.
Yeah.
But like, what makes you so different from the way that your family kind of handled their stardom or their light at being a performer?
Just being around everybody and seeing their downfalls. I'm very observant as a person, so like I'll try to learn from other people's mistakes, and just being able to identify red flags, just things that can lead me in the wrong direction. Right. Things that I see that was very clear, when I saw them at their worst. I just try to make sure that I'm just keeping it strictly to the music, and I know who I am first and foremost. Like, that's the most important thing.
And knowing who you are as an artist, I feel like that is just something difficult in itself. Like, do you feel that you were able to figure out who you were so quickly in your career because, the way that your family kind of did their musical styles, or is that something that you're still trying to figure out?
Nah, I wouldn't even say that my family, because like I was very shy. Like, so my family, like they knew I could sing and everything, but like my family was just so damn talented, man. Like I always kind of shied away from like showing my talent because I'm like, yo, I'm not better than y'all. So nah, but like it wasn't until I started really writing my music from a more personal perspective. Like I've been writing music since I was in high school, but the more personal and the more real that I got in my writing, that's when I started to really find out like who I was. Because it's like, oh shit, like I'm not alone, and in the way that I'm feeling. Other people are responding to it well, and that also helped me a lot in the way that I marketed myself too, just by me understanding who I am. Like I know what I like, I know what I don't, I know what I want, and I know what I don't. Yeah.
So as far as like kind of opening up and like being more personal like that, especially early on in your career, like how difficult is it to get vulnerable on a track or vulnerable in the studio with the booth with like a producer that you've never met or like a writer that you've never met?
Yeah. Now, I mean, it's cool now, because I'm in this. But before, like, I'm so used to like recording in my bedroom. Yeah. Like I recorded myself and do everything like all by myself in my room. So like putting myself outside of that zone and into a place where strangers who I know aren't against me, they want to be a part of something with me. Right. It was really hard to break that wall to just let them know how I was feeling. Because, like, yeah, I could write it down on the pen and paper and everything, but I can't. It was still difficult for me to communicate that to another human being. Yeah. How I was feeling.
Is it crazy how it works, though?
It's so crazy. It's really crazy. But, I mean, as I got into the motions of just talking about how I felt just generally in these sessions and everything, it just, like, helped me open up myself a whole lot more, So now I could just talk to anybody about whatever. I'm really, really comfortable with who I am and where I come from, to where I don't feel like there's anything I need to, like, hide or I shouldn't say to certain people, like. Because at the end of the day, I'm me. Right. I run my shit.
There you go. And on that note, like you're about to drop your debut EP with Arista, Admissions, May 24th, I believe, is the release date. Yeah, it's like coming up real quick. So now that this music is finally gonna drop, like I don't know how long you've been working on this music for, but like what does it mean to you, like especially these upcoming weeks, that it's about to be a reality?
To be honest, the way that I deal with things, I try not to think about them. Yeah. So like. I just haven't been thinking about it, to be honest. I just like when it comes, it comes. But as we're getting closer, like I asked my manager, I'm like, all right, are we doing this? Like, what's going on? Like, I just want to make sure everything is in line. But I kind of like to just reap the benefits of everything once it's happening and live in the moment. Right. Because the anticipation kills me. I have like the worst anxiety sometimes. I can't control it, man.
How do you do that? You're a performer, man. Like, how do you like that? That's one of the craziest things. Like, some of my favorite lyricists like have the biggest anxiety issues. Like, but once they hit the stage, it's like everything disappears.
Because I feel like a lot of the best creatives, like we think a lot. We're thinkers, and I'm a Virgo too, so I overanalyze every damn thing. Man. And just when I'm not on stage, I'm always thinking. Like I'm always thinking about the next move. What am I gonna like? It's hard for me to like stop and just slow down and be like, all right, just live in the moment. Slow down. So when I'm on stage, I ain't got no choice, So like that's literally that little 20, 25 minutes I'm on stage. Like it's just I kind of just switch my brain off to just really just relax and just learn to pace myself, because I have to pay attention. It's multidimensional when you're up on the stage, so I have to pay attention to not just the audience.
Preaching right now.
Yeah, but just pay attention to what I'm doing, and then pay attention to, you know, my manager, make sure I'm giving him the right cues, making sure, you know, I'm good, the sound guy, you know, so it's a lot of things you got to take into consideration, and I'm a boss, so like I can't let nobody fuck my shit up.
Right, there you go. I mean, you work so hard for where you're at. Now, talk to me more about Admissions, the EP. Like going into the studio, writing this record. You know, what were some of the challenges that you felt you faced while creating the songs on this EP?
Yeah, like we said before, the biggest challenge was me opening up myself, you know, in these sessions, and just like letting people know, you know, where I'm at in the moment. Like I never used to like talk to people about my situations. Like I wouldn't talk to anybody. I would just try to deal with them myself, and that's why I write the way I write, because like it's just, you know, it's not normal for me to talk to people. And then I started doing these, and I understood like fear was one of my biggest issues as a person. So like fear was the one thing that was holding me back from my growth. And being in those sessions, I realized like I wasn't gonna get the product that I wanted if I didn't, you know, put myself on the line, and you know, I didn't open myself up. And then, like I said, once I started doing that, I was like, yeah, everybody's cool. Like, you know, he been through the same thing, she been through the same thing I've been through. We human. That's what it is.
Now, what producers did you like hit the studio with for this EP?
I work with Carlos Kai, who produced my song Battle Zone that I just dropped last week. Yeah, and then Real Root, he's native out here in LA. Okay. We also work with Swag. He's with Progressive Music Group. And am I missing anybody? Oh, Pharaoh Vice. Okay. Pharaoh Vice and Taz Taylor, they produced the title track Admissions. And my boy Jonathan. I can't forget Jonathan, man. Jonathan, my homie, my day one, man. Jonathan, he's a very, very big part of the NBDY sound. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So what is NBDY? Like how did you know this is who you are as an artist?
Because I got tired of everybody telling me that I needed to be somebody. I needed to be like somebody. I needed to I needed to have some type of correlation to some other type of artist who already made it. And I'm like, no, why can't I just be me? Like that he's him, like she's her. Like why do I gotta be somebody else? I'm like, I'll just be nobody. Like, you know, and that it fit so well, because that's literally how I felt all my life. Like when it comes to when I came down to thinking about the whole artistry thing, I was like, what would I call myself? Like, and then that literally was just like it just fit. It fit so perfectly. Right. But I flip it more so now in a way where it's not negative and to where it's a positive thing. So like I said, you don't allow people to put you in a box. Don't allow people to, you know, put a label on your head. Right. You could be whoever you are, as wholeheartedly as you want to be, and you know, people will accept you whether or not, you know.
Right. Now this EP drops on Arista. Like, what is it about Arista that made you want to say yes to this like label? I'm sure other labels were trying to get your attention as well.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't like, so my whole family does music. My dad's been signed. He was signed to Sony back in the 90s. My grandfather was a musician, doo-wop group, jazz, everything. So like I've been in and out. Like I've seen the ins and outs of the industry, so I understand that it's not everything that it's hocked up to be. Right. So I wasn't looking for a deal. Like when I came out here last year to record my EP, I was just basically just working just with the thought that I was gonna do it myself. Right. You know, and then everybody started to, you know, invite me into their offices, and I learned a lot about that, you know. And then David Massey from Arista, he came up to me. He was just like, yo, he's like, I don't want to change anything about you. You're perfect. Like, I see you. I understand who you are. And I'm just like, he saw me just for me as an artist rather than who I should be, or, you know, what artist they could relate me to and this and that. Right. And Arista is a legacy label. You know, the greats come from there, like Whitney, Donnell Jones, Outkast, and Aretha Franklin. Like, just so many greats come from that label. Like, it just seems surreal that I'm a part of something that's so much bigger than I am.
Right. That's really sick, man. Congratulations with that. Like, for those that are not familiar with you, like, why did you choose this career path of music? Like, obviously you grew up seeing how your family kind of dealt with the music industry, and like you said earlier, it's not what everybody thinks it really is. So why did you choose this path regardless?
I did it because it was working out for me. Like, to be honest, to keep it 100, like it was working out for me. Like, where I'm from, I'm from, like, you know, I call it the woods, but I'm from like Essex County, and it's a lot of like rough neighborhoods out there. So you know, a lot of people just become products of their environment, and that was one thing I said I wasn't gonna do. So music presented itself to me, and I took it. I couldn't go to school because I couldn't afford it. I was independent at 16, so I couldn't apply for financial aid to, go to the school that I wanted to go to. I got accepted into a few, but I had to turn them down. But like I said, music presented itself to me, and then I started working a regular 9 to 5, and I just educated myself on money. Like nobody ever taught me anything about financial wealth or, nothing like as far as like building a business, and that's something I always wanted to do. I always wanted to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So I just took that little opportunities that I had at work to just learn as much as I can about, the world and life and how business works.
That's crazy. I like what's going in here, man. Like that's crazy. Not a lot of people think about that kind of stuff.
And it was either that or I'll be homeless. Like dead ass. Like I have nobody. Like there's nobody for me to fall back on. Like at all. So it's like it's one way or another.
That's insane, man.